Another group of students that we want to be aware of and supportive of are our ELL students. In 2019, approximately 20% of our students were categorized as English language learners. As part of that, we want to be supportive in our content instruction by providing these students ways that they can engage and increase their opportunities to practice and comprehend different English learning environments. And I want to show you this video that was sort of really powerful to me when I was understanding or learning about the need to increase sheltered instruction in the classroom. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to play this straight through.
Zdravo učiteljice. Uzmite papir. Podelite na papir na pola. Na jednu stranu nacrtajte oči. Na drugu stranu nacrtajte uši. Dobro. Well, how did you do? Were you able to complete the task that I asked you to complete? Were you able to understand the language? Probably not. I'm going to try the same demonstration, only this time I'm going to use some comprehensible input strategies. Let's see if you're more successful this time. Zdravo učiteljice. Zdravo. Moje ime je Valentina. Moje ime je Valentina. Zdravo. Uzmite jedan papir. Papir. Uzmite papir. Podelite na pola. Podelite papir na pola. Podelite na pola. Papir podeli na pola. Dobro. Na jednu stranu nacrtajte oči. Čekaj. Oči. 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 Na jednu stranu nacrtajte oči. Na drugu stranu nacrtajte uši. 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 Na drugu stranu nacrtajte uši. 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 Dobro. All right. So how did you do the second time around? Were you able to understand the language or the message I was getting across to you? And did you complete the task? So I was speaking Serbian. How many of you speak Serbian? But how many of you were able to complete the task the second time around? Because I made content comprehensible. So I'd like for you to discuss at your tables the strategies I used the second time around to make content comprehensible so that you were able to complete the task.
Okay, so we're not at tables, we're not gonna do that part, but hopefully you guys were able to pull something out of this video. I know when I was watching it the first time around, I had no clue. She asked if we were able to complete the task, and I had no clue that there was even a task in there. And so what this brought to mind is that when we are doing face-to-face instruction, we tend to be a little bit more cognizant. We've been trained. We've seen techniques about how we can model, how we use our hands when we're gesturing, how we hold items up. But I will be one of the first to admit that when I transfer my content to a digital platform, to videos, I sometimes forget that I need to also include these strategies for comprehension. And so using our gestures, modeling with items, using tools to draw pictures to help our students understand, that's one way that we can be inclusive for our ELL students when we're creating videos for our distance learning options. Other ways that we can be thoughtful on it, and by the way, this is all referring to sheltered instruction, which is content area instruction that offers language rich opportunities. Our lower level ELL students, 1s and 2s, and I'm not sure if it's 3s or not, they receive extra support in a ELL classroom with dedicated teachers, but they're all at all levels going to be in our regular content classes. And so we all need to be using these sheltered instruction strategies. So being thoughtful with how you present information within your videos is one way that we can do it. Adding closed captions, which we already learned about, and transcripts is another way. YouTube can translate into some languages. YouTube does have an auto-translate as well for some materials, but it's not always correct. So that's something that you want to talk with whoever is in your school to see how well it does translate your materials. Making sure that you pause, you model, that's other ways to increase the effectiveness of your videos. When you're using Google Slides with students, there is also Slide Translator. It's an add-on that has been a little bit more helpful. It might have come out last year or the year before, but if you go to add-ons, I think it might actually already be in our add-ons, and I just realized I'm in a different account. Let me go to my school one. It might already be part of our add-ons, and if not, you can just add it in because it is whitelisted, meaning that we can go ahead and add it. There we go. Why isn't it showing it to me? But what happens with that is that students can now translate each slide as we go through. Okay, so here's our slides translate. Oh, it says it's not whitelisted by admin. Okay, oh, there we go. Here we go. Now it's showing Slide Translator is the one we want. And so when we go to Slide Translator on our add-ins, we can translate an entire text box. We can also do voice typing, but I found that the text box is the most convenient. So if I'm down here on the slide that we're currently working on, okay, here we go. And I click here, I'm in my text box, these blue lines, these are the text boxes that it's referring to, these boxes that we normally type in. So you might have a couple of text boxes on a slide. But what's nice is that students have the ability now to go ahead to this add-on, click on Translate Text Box. It's going to open up a little sidebar here. And so if we have something in English, but to help make it more meaningful, they see it in English, but it's also nice to have it in your own language. If we need to translate it into Spanish or a different language, you can choose it over on the side. And did I pass it? Was it up at the top? It probably was. And right here. And so now what we can do is I've got this one highlighted. I click on Translate, and it will translate what is in that text box. Granted, it's not formatted, but it is a nice support system that students can use. And so within your classroom, model this for students. Show them how they can use that to help complement the English language that you're providing. In the past, I know we've kind of highlighted and we've used Google Translate up here in our extensions, but this add-on really makes it easy and more convenient for those that are using slides. Use our ELL or ENL teachers for support. Go to them. Ask them questions. I know at the junior high, they are very, very willing to offer support and very willing to give suggestions if you ask them, okay? And then I have one other website, a tool, let's call it a tool, that might be helpful too, and it's called the Learner Variability Network. And so if you click on this, it's really nice because you can put in what needs you're looking for, what type of variability your learners might have, and you can get ideas and suggestions of resources that might help them. Now, I believe you might have to create an account for this, but that's okay. But then once you create your account, go to My Workspace. Okay. And within My Workspace, we are 7 through 12, and I am going to focus on literacy because that's where, for our ELL students, probably our most concern is. If you're a math teacher, you might want to go to, math 7 to 9. But for most of us, we're going to probably do literacy 7 through 12. Okay, once we click on that, then we have an opportunity to look at these factors that might affect our learners and pick which factors that we want to focus on. And I would suggest maybe picking 2 or 3 at the most of factors. So if we're looking at our ELL students, we're going to know that primary language might be a factor in the way that they learn. Okay, English might not be their primary language. So I can click on, primary language. I believe I hit the control. Hold on. And then let's go with literacy. Let's go with reading fluency, being able to read. And I don't know. I think I'm wondering if I should have gone to the other spot where I put the factors in. Oh, let's see. I think this might have been it. Sorry, I went to the wrong one. I think it was strategies. Yeah. Okay, so now I can turn them on here. So I'm going to go down here and I am going to turn on the filters for primary language and reading fluency. Okay. And so then what happens is you are given strategies that can help with reading fluency for students that perhaps, I accidentally clicked sleep as being an issue too. Who knows? Maybe you have students that sleep is an actual issue. But you can click the factors on and off to see which kind of strategies would be helpful for these learners that you have. And so I would suggest playing around with this. If you are an ELL teacher, this might be something that you consider as well. If you are a special education teacher, this also might be a website that is useful to you, so you can help come up with strategies based on the learners that you have. But it's not just limited to being inclusive of special groups. All of our students could probably benefit from this. Again, we had the sleep as an option. Maybe we're concerned about those that might not have social supports at home, or those that might have had trauma in their life. We can click on this and we can be given strategies to help with these students, okay? To help these students succeed. So here's another tool to add to your toolkit, to add to your Wakelet or Symbaloo or your bookmarks, so that you can refer to it in the future when you're not sure how to address a certain learner or a certain group of learners.